The bitch is back. Hello, darlings. Notice you're here. Who does it say I am? Oh, hello, hello. Okay.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rocky Horror and Repo panel here at Sinister Picture
What the hell are you doing here?
I was just feeling the same thing. I am so not worthy. I want to be there with you guys right now.
Yeah. We haven't been introduced yet. Nell, Campbell,
Yes,
how do you do it? What is your name?
Rudiger?
Ronica. Okay.
He's very good. He's very good. I did one of his movies.
Oh, really?
And what was the name of it? Repo? Oh no, it wasn't Repo. That's the one they auditioned for. And you didn't cast me in it, you... Huh? Right, are you, did you just turn red? You put me through a whole audition, if I remember correctly.
Not by myself, but yeah.
No.
No, he wanted you, the producer didn't want you, right, darling? What do you mean, Alden? That seems like the most polite way to put this, to get you off the hook.
Well, I will say this.
What did you say your name was? Ronica? Anyway, go. I'm gonna Google you later.
It's all true. Barry auditioned for Repo, and both the director, Darren, and myself are and were big fans. And when he came in and sang a song, we were fangirling.
Was it the fishnets that put you on?
That was the post-audition bribe. We call that the meat.
Right. So technically I'm supposed to introduce everybody. But I really feel like I should just disappear. Because these three, obviously, we could just sit and hear them chat for hours. But if y'all don't know for some reason who you're looking at here, let me introduce on the panel today from The Devil's Carnival, as well as American Murder Song, and of course, Grave Robber from Repo the Terrence Zadunich.
Didn't sound anything like Ronica.
I think they might have played a little gag on you. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. She's going to remember that one.
I will.
All right.
I think you should be Terrence Z, you know?
No, that's like Terence Trent D'Arby. You
Yeah.
mean like Terence the D'Arby?
Yeah. But I've known this guy a couple of years, and I've never known how to say his last name.
I'm praying I got it right.
Is it Polish?
It's Croatian. And actually, I'm assuming that I'm saying it right, but I'm also trusting my parents, which is generally a bad idea.
No!
Zadunich.
Zadunich?
Zadunich.
Zadunich.
Yeah.
Zadunich, bitch. Oh. I want to be your
She's a firecracker.
All right. So I think everybody in here knows everybody on stage, but just to be thorough, I must introduce from 9 on Broadway, as well as cult movies like Shock Treatment and Columbia and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Nell Campbell, everybody.
Till the break of dawn. And to my left, the incredible Barry Bostwick. Best legs on Broadway.
Okay. I don't want to try and follow that, but you know, Spin City, Brad from Rocky Horror, Devil's Carnival 2, Hallelujah. So everything worked out in the end.
It did.
It did.
What, whose end? I mean, in Rocky Horror, yes, it worked out in the end. But
did you know that? So obviously you are familiar with the cult phenomenon that surrounds the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Obviously, with all the stage screening. No.
Tell us about it, Janet.
I know, I think it's weird too that they never seem to actually show the movie when you guys come here to Sacramento, but that is the thing that happens. So let me ask this to start. For Repo as well as Rocky Horror, you know, we do these screenings where people are shadow casting along with the movie and saying things and shouting along and so forth. Tell me about the first time you ever saw this happen and what was going through your mind when you saw
Is there a buck in this for me?
What? That was a line?
No, that was my thought.
Oh, I see. There was a buck. Oh, yes, right. And was there?
No.
Then think about it. Yeah, no. Buy an umbrella, you cheap bitch. That was the first line.
First line.
First line ever by a school teacher in Brooklyn or something. Right?
Yes.
You know more about it than me, right? Yeah, I know you do. I'm sure you do.
That's amazing that you know it and you know it. Because I made it up.
Did you really?
Darling, have you got my handbag? I just need a kerchief from it. Wow! These seats are lethal. I felt I was on the Graham Norton show, so... 2015.
No one pushed the button.
Thank you. Thanks, darling. Talk amongst yourselves.
Terrence, what about for Repo the Genetic Opera? Because this is something, you know, it's coming.
Do they yell back at you? Do they have lines that you yell at? They yell at you?
They do?
Yeah. So I feel really underqualified sitting next to this. But I will say for me that I'll try to add my own flavor because of what had already been established with the works that you guys have done. I got to see kind of in real time things be tested and seeing in different cities how people were trying different things, most of which did not work. But were wonderful to be sitting in the back of the room while people were really trying to go, I hope this is the one that sticks. And someone will film it and it'll go around. So, and I certainly have my favorites. But I don't know, I think it's so cool to create something, think it's done, frame it, put it on the wall, and then it's now not only a moving frame.
But people throw shit at it.
Yeah.
What?
And it's not even a rectangle or a square, it's like a parallelogram.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You probably had something really wise to say. Right?
Not at all.
No. I'm a bitter man. Can you tell? Because I wasn't cast in his first movie. So therefore I never saw it. It was very dark, wasn't it, if I remember? Very dark. What was the theme of the first one?
Yeah, there's a few.
Really?
Vanity.
Vanity?
I think so.
That's right, yeah. You're very smart. He's very smart. He writes very smart music and very smart pieces.
And strangely, I've never heard of him.
Right, I understand that.
So my favorite thing was when Barry came in and sang a song in The Devil's Carnival 2. He just kept saying to us, he goes, you guys write too many fucking words. Where's the hook? Simplify.
There was no hook. But I've said this to you ever since I've known you. I said, you know, I think there was a hit song in you somewhere. But I don't think you'll ever write it. Because you're too smart. No, you're too smart.
Guys, I'm getting roasted by 2 legends.
No, close. You had a couple of close songs in the last one that were, I'm sorry, have we taken your time?
No, I'm loving it.
Okay.
I like to describe my music as almost listenable.
Brag.
To be fair, I think if I went with this room, if I went something like, Zydrate comes in a little glass vial.
A little glass vial.
See, some people. That's fun. All right, I want to make sure that we open.
Like 6 people know that. 6 people in the whole world. in this room.
What were the odds?
Really?
That all your family would be here.
Did you ever listen to the Monkees? You know, just listen to some of their songs. I think you can write a Monkees band. God. You got it in you, man. I know you do. All right, sorry.
No, it's I really just need to disappear right now. But that's, no, because I could just watch them roast each other for an hour, couldn't you guys? I mean, this is great. So it's just Terrence is kind of like, okay. No, but I want to open it up for you guys and let you guys ask questions.
Can I ask you? I'm reading this book. There's a new Rocky Horror book out. It actually just came out like a couple of months ago.
Right.
And the whole first 2 or 3 chapters are about the whole glam thing, the whole glitter rock thing that was going on in London prior to Rocky Horror.
Right.
And they're talking about, you know, what was going on the street and this and that. And were you part of that movement, that glam, that glitter rock movement? Did you know Boylan, what those guys? Did you know any of those?
Bolan.
Bolan, there you go. Now, what do I know? I mean, I'm not Brit.
T-Rex.
He ranks?
Yeah.
But he was like really the first of all of that kind of, before Bowie, right?
Well, around about the same time. I'm not a conventional person, darling. I think you know that by now.
Yeah.
And while everyone was getting dressed up as glam rock, I was dressed, surprisingly, as a clown. Yeah, a clown. Now, I don't like clowns, and what's more, clowns don't like me. But I had gone to the most expensive hairdresser in London and had my hair done into a 1930s perm, and it looked fabulous because I'd made myself satin shorts, polka dot blouse with a pussy bow, wore my tap shoes and carried on like Ruby Kill, okay? It was just great. It lasted 2 days, the hair. And then my hair just went like this. Well, my artist boyfriend from Australia, where I'm from too, blew into town, London, took one look at this mess and then just got the scissors out and cut my hair. So I had this amazing haircut that we called the thatch. I just went like this, right? Well, the most famous beauty photographer at the time, Barry Latigan, photographed me for Vogue wearing the thatch. And my first job was working at a shop in just off Carnaby Street called Fall and Toughen. And their whole look was sort of, they were called happy coats. Basically, I wore their clothes and the whole thing looked like a clown. So I would then do that little... I think I'm going on too much, right?
No, it's
anyway, so that was my look. I was looking like a clown while they were all putting on, you know, big wedgie shoes and etc., etc. So no, I've never followed fashion. Can you tell? But it was a great time to be in London, but the food was dreadful, hence my figure was rocking. Anyway, they were the days. Yeah. Next question.
No, what do you mean by was rocking?
Oh, thank you,
And they found you tap dancing on the street?
That's right, I'm usually found on the streets. You can still find me there. Yes, I was busking and tap dancing and busking, and as you all know, that's why Richard wrote the tap dancing chorus for me in the Time Warp. And yeah, and the rest is history, and I'm still tap dancing. Thank you, darlings, and I suggest you all do it. It's excellent exercise and very good for your syncopation. Let's talk about you now.
Syncopation.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the way it moves. I don't like the way clowns move.
No.
Okay, who in the
It's like
audience,
Jell-O.
who likes the clowns? Hands up.
Very good.
Really?
I
No,
was in
that
a
doesn't
band
mean
called
he
the Clown.
likes the clowns. I dressed as one and I didn't like it. See, very few of you.
Did you?
Okay.
And not anymore? No.
Okay.
Why?
I lost contact with my old boss.
Too much. We don't need to know. thought it would be something easy, but no. Life stories, no. Sorry. Yeah. Mime, you were a mime? On the street?
No, in college and in high school and in Wimbledon.
All right.
I just did a movie called Bigger, Fatter, Liar, which just came out. And in the last scene in the movie, I'm a real asshole in this. I mean, a real asshole. I cheat, I steal, and this and that. In the last scene, I'm a mime on the street making money. And I say things like, I'm now pulling a rope! I'm in a box, and I can't get out of the box! And then somebody in the audience goes, you're a terrible mime, you suck! And I think I say, well, I don't come to your job and tell you how to scrub a toilet, do I?
That's
Just
not
thought I'd
exactly
share that with
witty.
you. My mime story. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, next question, Star.
Yeah, well, let me ask a question for Terrence, because we're, having fun talking about...
I don't want to overlook Terrence. He's very handsome.
Yes, we're talking about, Rocky and Repo, obviously trying to bring both movies, the commonalities together. My question is for you, Terrence, and then I want to get to some audience questions as well. If you guys want to line up down the center aisle in an orderly fashion, we'll get to some of your orderly fashion. We'll try to get to some of your questions as well for our panel.
Disorderly fashion, please.
But Terrence, had you seen Rocky Horror before doing Repo, and did that have an impact on what you did?
Let me ask, look, here we go. Terrence, I'm going to interview you now. Terrence, have you ever worn fishnets? Because we all in this room have at one stage worn them. Have you ever?
Over my face once, but I had a note on a piece of paper and a gun in my pocket, and I slid it to the teller.
You know you were wearing the wrong kind of tights.
This fit in two ways, but it's really up to you now, isn't it?
Darling, you don't wear fishnets over your face. You're supposed to wear the sort of nylon ones, you know?
Well, we're unconventional.
Okay. I'll tell you one thing, though. I did poach a whole wild salmon in one of my fishnet tights once. Yeah, I held it together really well. My legs, on the other hand, were never quite the same again.
Now, let me ask you a question, Terrence. Did you, when you were putting the script together and making the first movie, what was the name of it? That one. Did you actually think that people were going to talk to you? Did you have in your mind that the audience was going to yell back at you things? Did you create space in it for that to happen? Because people have accused Rocky Horror people of saying, right?
No.
No. They
It
say.
sounds like a sort of Comey Trump questionnaire.
I'm sorry. What? I'm out of here.
Well, you know, it's like you're somehow trying to feed the wrong answer. I don't know, darling, but do you...
I don't even forget what I was asking. No, he said earlier that...
No one leaves time in like that. Like David Mamet does the opposite. You're always just like this.
Yeah.
Okay, but we didn't leave big breaks.
No, but people have accused us of that.
Oh, that's only because they're just, every film you could do it with if you wanted to. Correct?
But ours was slow.
I think
Speak for yourself.
I think music lends itself a bit more to it, because there are some exceptions in just straight cinema that I think you, on a whole, can watch over and over and over again. But I think you're much more inclined to listen to an album over and over again as music. And I think the more you listen to something, the more it feels like you start adding your own little syncopation.
Yeah.
So, for me, as a writer, I always think one of the things I ask myself is, if I was in the audience, is this something I would like to listen to or see? Which is, it seems like an obvious question, but it actually isn't, because you often get so caught up in the minutia of what it takes to conceive of something and then actually execute it, and then have the courage to share it. So, for me, I think I just wanted to make something really cool. And the fact that it exists and became anything more than that, you could never predict that. But I'm glad it happened.
anything you can't do, Terence?
Write a hit song.
I think they're working in tandem. I think they're thick as thieves, these ones are. But you know what, it's okay, Barry, because I really like the music that you wrote for Rocky Horror Picture. Oh, wait.
Oh, it was... Once in a while, she called me, speaking on the telephone. And once in your life, she don't want to come to you.
Okay, why don't you ask us a question that you've always wanted to know about Rocky Horror? Is there any? Is that all just about us?
Yeah, absolutely. He adores us. I mean, that's the only reason he met me in the first place.
That's
They
right.
said that he just wanted to meet me because I was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
You know, a few things came to mind to ask. Well, firstly, I was like, oh my God, every question's been asked. But I think what I would say, generally speaking, I sort of like that it's there and that you guys are you. And maybe if we sat down at a bar later,
Yeah.
over a couple drinks, something very natural and unexpected would have come out of a
Are you
conversation.
about to tell me your room number? The way this is going.
We watch.
You
I
got
like drinks too. I like drinks.
Not that kind of movie.
Well, I like London, I like France, I like Nell's underpants.
I'm not wearing it. But I do have some for sale on my desk upstairs. Come on up.
If you were going to change something about the Rocky Horror Picture Show, sir, what would you, if you were going to try to improve it in some way, because you are a really good writer, what would you do? Would you add or subtract anything? What would you do to
Like
make?
not kill
Listen
my
to this.
character
You know what?
off at the end.
I have a very specific answer that comes when I hear a question like that, which is almost like, do I look fat in this dress? It's a trap!
I wouldn't touch a thing.
Exactly.
Didn't we learn from what aired on Fox last fall that the original can't be improved upon?
Did anybody like that?
The fishnets were
But so-
fabulous.
Fishnets are fabulous. Yeah.
I loved that Tim Curry was on television again. And I loved that Laverne Cox gives more visibility to trans actresses. And I hit the end of my list.
The fishnets.
The fishnets.
Nah, they were okay.
So I was here to make sure things don't get out of control, and clearly I'm doing a terrible job. So I just, I want to thank you all for my last Sinister Creature con. Okay. I do want to know if you guys have any questions, because, we got many fans out there in the audience. So do you guys have any questions? Come on down, don't be shy. Yeah, come on down, come on down.
Can I have your number? Which one?
That was a question for Terrence, right?
Loving the look.
What's your name?
I'm Lori.
Hi, Lori. And where are you from?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. All the way here from New Mexico. Well, welcome. What's your question?
Well, since you are so bitter about
Everything.
which part were you auditioning for?
The lead. Right? Was it the lead? Yeah.
There's a
you
video
take
of him
lead?
singing Legal Assassin. I don't have, unfortunately.
Can we see that?
But I was in the room and it was awesome.
Why didn't you give yourself the
Was
lead?
it good enough?
Well, Repo's kind of like Rocky started as a stage production, and I had been playing a role in it.
Oh, I see.
So there is a role that I play in it.
Okay.
It's completely unmemorable.
That's what Alfred Hitchcock says.
You know, it is interesting though, because you play the guy with long hair in the almost kind of. I mean, there's some similarities with Riff Raff, just a little bit,
Sure. Hey, if you got to be compared to something, right? Not bad.
Yeah, because he wrote it too.
Yes.
The long hair guy writes the script.
Well, not the long hair guy anymore. So.
That's not what I heard.
but neither.
I like drinks too. I got one more of those in me somewhere. You got to be 3. I can't. Right before we go. All right. Go on. Sorry. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah.
Were you dressed up something from Repo? Is that thing? No, the lady who just asked something.
I'm actually going as Sweet Rosalie from American Murder Song.
Oh!
Speaking of long hair, that gentleman in the glasses there has got.
Please stand up. Please stand up. That's long hair. That's great.
A friend of mine slept with a girl once with hair almost to her knees, and he said when she got into bed, it was like 2 people got into bed with her. The weight. She came in, and in the 3rd person, her hair joined her.
Really?
Just thought I'd share that.
That's good. Thank you very much. Okay. Yes. No, sit down. Yeah, boy, I tell you, they turn on you.
To use real musicians, not just actors who could sing for all of your stuff.
Well, you know, I feel very lucky in the sense of with the projects of mine that I think, well, the only reason you're listening to me speak right now, I was able to see them from literally a blank page to my completion with them and to now what's happening with all of you guys. So I always, you know, in the whole process, it's so cool to work and collaborate with so many people, from performers to singers. But I think one of my favorite phases of the projects are the recording of the music. And part of it is because it's humbling. Like musicians, studio musicians, are so freaking talented in a way that I'm like, oh, I don't even know how to speak. But it's so cool. I do get to work with people that I admire. And actually, if I may be shameless right now, I'm actually going into the studio on the 23rd of this month to record the next album for American Murder Song. We've already hired a choir and some strings, and so I love it. But it'll all come together, and it's on the Donner Party. Yeah. So come hungry.
I must say, when I recorded the song for the watchword that we did, when they said, well, show up at this place, and it was a house somewhere, and it was in the basement somewhere, and you shoved me in the corner of the basement, and you put a microphone in front of me, and I remember singing the watchword song. That halfway through we had to stop because somebody flushed the toilet. And I thought, wow, boy, this is big time now. Really? God. Did I remember that correctly?
No.
No.
I told you.
Yeah.
Call me Trump or Trump call me.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So that's true, though. I mean, we were in the basement of somebody's house, was it?
Well, you know what's crazy, and I think this is both a great thing and a bad thing.
It was your house.
No, but a lot of very big albums now are being recorded in houses.
Yeah.
And that's partly because the technology is such that you can record high-end great stuff if you know the tools for a lot cheaper. The sad part of that is nobody buys music anymore, or DVDs or what have you. So the budgets for projects keep going down and down and down and down. So we try to go. We never want to limit our vision based on our billfolds. So, but you would be surprised. Like, there's been giant projects that are recorded in the exact same conditions, and you'd never know. And it's not that it's. I mean, this is a real studio, you know. But it's just somebody has a tricked out room and they've sound tested it all, and it just, you know, yeah, would I like to be in a Cadillac? As opposed to, I don't know, a wagon? No, actually.
But it gave the whole soundtrack, you know, a vibrancy, an immediacy, because you knew you had to get it done before the next toilet flush.
That's our secret sauce.
Yeah.
You know, some people put tapatio in their omelet.
All right, sir, I see you down here. You had a question. What's your name?
My name is Stark.
And where are you from, Stark?
From San Francisco.
San Francisco. Welcome. What's your question?
It's two questions. I don't know if you know this answer to the second question. Were either of you approached to do cameos in that terrible remake on Fox?
No.
No.
Yeah. I like drinks too. Okay, that's the last time I'll do that. No, they asked me way back, before they ever cast it, they came to my agent and said, would he be interested in doing it? And I said, sure, tell me what it's all about. And they never called back. You know, I think they were just trying to get to see what the interest was in terms of the original cast. And I think they got Tim to do it, so they didn't need any of us, the rest of us. And,
But you did do the Glee thing.
I did the Glee
years
thing.
prior.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was, you and Meatloaf being in that were probably the only...
what was
good
missing
things.
from that?
Music?
I believe the correct answer is one, Nell Campbell.
Oh, Nell?
Pat.
Yeah, sure. Pat, Nell,
Patricia
yeah.
Quinn.
Yeah.
You needed some gal power for that. It was a little bit serious. It was, let's face it, it was dull.
The second part of the question, in the remake, did Mr. O'Brien get anything from that?
Richard, to you, please.
The remake.
Get anything from that?
Financially?
Yes.
Oh, darling, we couldn't
I
answer
don't
that
know.
possibly.
Yeah, I think...
I would say he didn't. Because didn't he was bought out for the movie rights in the movie way early on, right?
Darling, I know it all ended very sadly and badly, which is why you don't see Richard up here with us. But I like to think that he was handsomely rewarded.
Yeah, me too. He deserved it.
God, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me go to the back here, next to the camera. Yes, you. What's your name?
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. Where are you from?
I am from Sacramento. I'm the director of Amber's Sweets, Rocky Horror Picture. And potentially Repo. We're trying to maybe get it going again. We'll see. My question is for Barry. You treated us to this wonderful rendition of Once in a While earlier, and I was curious, how did you feel about the removal of Once in a While? And we actually attempted to put Once in a While back into the movie in its place, and
it sucked.
It just
Didn't
killed
work.
the flow. It
No,
killed
the
flow.
audience didn't know what to do.
Slowed the whole movie down. It
So
really did.
you agree with
Oh,
that decision?
yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, it's just really sad because it is a wonderful example of what a fantastic singing voice you have.
Oh,
And
thank you.
it's one of those things that we as fans have to search out. So.
Once in a while, she don't.
And then I do have one little brief one for Terrence as well. So one more.
Ouch.
It's all good.
Well, this is one more crossover between the two worlds. So obviously Anthony Stewart Head played Nathan. He viciously stole the part from Barry.
Yeah.
And how was working with him? You know, in the past he did do Frankenfurter. He did perform as Frankenfurter. So I was just curious, how, you know, did that help him along with that at all? Did any past history that he's had with musicals and?
I don't know if I thought about it in those terms. So I could tell you a story down that line, but it probably wouldn't be genuine. I will say this, which maybe is a wilder aspect of the casting of that role. Patrick Swayze was actually not only cast as Repo Man, but we began recording
Oh, wow.
with him. And there's a lot behind that story, but he dropped out, and it was a very odd situation.
That's because he found out there was no dancing in it. We promised him dancing, but there was no dancing.
Yeah, well, you know, Roadhouse. So, you know, I think one of the interesting things is when you're doing a project like that, there's so many considerations.
No, wait a minute. Why did he drop out?
You know, I don't know. I know the story I got was bullshit. He passed away not too long after that. So
Oh,
my
yeah.
gut is there was something going on personally but it was a very weird thing, and this is part of the process. I haven't had a film yet where there hasn't been at least one person cast that something happens.
It sounds like a shadow cast.
Yes.
But when you're recording a musical, you record all the parts well before you go to camera. And oftentimes, you know, you're recording music in a key that matches the performer. So if somebody drops out, has to leave, or gets canned for whatever reason, it's a big deal because you bring someone in and they might not be able to sing it in the act, or it may not sound as good. So with that was a real issue because we had recorded, he's on a lot of the album. We had recorded all these parts and we had to change all the keys. And so it was like this
my hotel
scramble.
room tonight.
She thinks I'm coming in through the door. Amateur.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's getting late. It's nearly 7 o'clock. Let's go.
All right, you've had your hand up this entire time. I want to make sure you get your question. What's your name, dear?
My name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Where are you from?
I'm from Des Moines, Iowa.
You guys sound
Wait a
like
minute.
Okay.
What's your question?
This is for Nell. Being one of the
iconic figures of today.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling.
But you were one of the strongest female characters in Rocky. And as someone who was very young the first time I saw Rocky, that really spoke to me as I've always loved theater and I've always loved singing. So if you had to give advice to like women who are looking to either, you know, perform well on stage or, you know, get into films or anything, what advice would you have?
Oh, this is going into a very dark area. Got to find out what you love, and that's what you got to do. Acting, it's so bloody tough. So if you want to be an actress, I suggest you also try and find something else that you want to love to do. And also, women are just, sorry guys, so superior. And that we have not got equal pay is obscene. But you gals, there's so much that we do, but loving what you do and making it happen. And also, if you don't get the perfect job to begin with or whatever, you just keep having a job, and while you're working in that job, be looking for the job that you really want to do. And be financially independent. Never have to get it from that guy that's getting about, what, a third more salary. Okay, good luck, dames. And don't forget to have a baby, because I so nearly did. Okay, go.
But I think my favorite moment working with Sarah was just really a kind of a weird little personal thing. So she was, the operatic stuff, she's naturally in her wheelhouse. The stuff that was more like Chase the Morning, which is more syncopated and kind of Sprechstimme, isn't. And she was having trouble with it. And there was sort of a conductor there, and she wasn't getting it based on what the conductor was doing. And she said, Terrence, come in here with me. And she kind of just shut the door, and we were sitting in a booth as big as this between, the toilet flushing. And she basically was like, we were holding hands, and I was kind of lip syncing.
And now you know.
I was moving my mouth along, and it was kind of like this moment of just kind of doing it, and then it locked in, and she's like, okay, I got it now, get out of here.
I rest my case. That is how she lost being married to the most successful musical writer in the history of the world. Okay.
Thank you for your question. Let me go all the way in the back. All the way back. You're going to have to talk loud or I'm not going to be able to hear you. What's your name?
My name's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Who's dressed as
Oh
Sarah?
my God, Sarah Brightman, you're here.
Where are you from? London.
Yeah.
What? And what's your question?
My question's for Terrence, of course. Out of, the many projects you've been in, is there a specific character that you've created or even worked with that, rises above all the rest?
Is that the one that she's dressed up?
Well, firstly, you're lovely. I'm so honored. You look amazing, and I hope I get to see you a little closer. Before the panel's done.
He's busy tonight.
Again, I don't know if I think in those terms. I think I fall in love with every project I'm doing, kind of while I'm doing it, and it's obsessive. And I think it makes me good at what I do, but it probably makes me bad at being a boyfriend. For example, to have total candor, but I get really obsessed when I'm working on something. And
I'm getting the drift.
yeah, just if you
Better to learn that now.
if you provide the tree and the rope, I'll do the rest.
And on record.
But I think one of the things that interests me the most is trying to find new ways to tell a
sleep
story.
with women, sorry. You tell that story. He ain't never gonna do it. It's called a panel with
And I'm sure everyone that has their cameras out right now, thank you. Well, that wasn't what I was trying to say, but I suppose... No, but in all seriousness, I try to find new ways to tell stories, and I get obsessed in that process. And so, for me, even some of the questions about the remake of Rocky, for example, to me it's not even as good or bad, it's like, why? Why not do something new? Why not find a way to say something new? Even if you can redo something well. So for me, the newest project I'm working on, we actually stepped away even from the notion of, here's a character singing a song. And questions like, well, what is that character's voice? What do they sound like? What are they trying to do? And how does it not sound like memory? Really, how does it not sound like that? So my newest project that I'm co-writing with Sar Hendelman, who co-wrote all the Devil's Carnival music. America is the character. And all the songs fit into that bigger character. And while there are specific people that are being dealt with in these ballads, it's really the character is America growing. And what the fuck does that sound like? So that challenge is exciting to me. Now, where it's all going to end up, I don't know. But
Can you dance to it? That's what I want to know. Is there a danceable song in it?
Bizarrely, the Donner Party aspect, which is coming out,
Yeah.
there's a sock hop in it. Get ready, motherfuckers.
I have time to squeeze in one more question, but I do want to remind everybody that everybody here is also upstairs, because I saw some of y'all brought things to be signed and selfies and all that. Everybody is upstairs, so please say hi after the panel. Everybody will be around the rest of today and Sunday, so don't forget about that. I'm gonna go with the gentleman back here who's had his hand up the longest. Sorry, you guys. What's your name?
Oh,
yes, it's you.
My name's CJ.
Hi, CJ. Where are you from?
Modesto.
And last question. Make it count.
Okay, so
First of all, show them your arm, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting their signatures tattooed on me the second I'm done with this panel. So my questions to all three of you, obviously Rocky Horror's, the best way to view it is in a theater on midnight, and participating with it.
I can think of a better way to view it. Carry on.
I guess my question is, if you've been to a midnight showing, what's one of the fan yell-outs that's been your favorite over the years?
Oh, favorite yell back, call back.
Yeah, umbrella, that's our favorite line. Give us a few other ones. I'm afraid a lot of them have gone downhill and there's too many of them now. You can see
It's just like this hum of fuck.
Well, we're definitely waiting for your answer with Antissa.
Well, while they're thinking, I got one.
Okay.
So I went to a Repo screening, and there's lots of great ones.
I thought you were going to give the favorite one of Rocky Horror. I was so impressed.
How pompous would that be? That's your guys' question.
Oh, darling. I hope we're going to get on. Carry on.
Man, I feel like I'm on the ropes. Stick and move. Roll through the window. Make sure the mask stays on.
I hope I'm not making you nervous, Terrence.
I'm always nervous. So, there's lots of good ones that I've heard and obvious ones, but one that I only heard once, and it cracked me up, was when Nathan's washing off his Repo Man outfit, which is covered in blood, and he's got the elephant hose basically.
Yeah.
Spraying it down, someone goes, "That's a man's shower."
What does that mean?
You pay extra for that. Isn't that what the president had in Russia?
Thank you, Angela.
Positive noise sounds negative up here.
Any lines for you guys you want to share from
No, I
Rocky?
don't do drugs anymore.
No.
For what it's worth,
but not that one.
For what it's worth, and this ties into something Nell's been saying a lot, I like when people come up with the newer things. So there's a scene when Frank is introducing Rocky for the first time, and the audience yells out, "What do you think of President Trump?" And Frankenfurter goes, "I think we can do better than that." I like to keep it current.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.